Hello everyone, welcome to another beer review. Now, what's been happening? Well, work has been happening unfortunately. So yes, I basically had to deal with an issue and a problem that an existing customer had that was created beyond their control. So unfortunately, for the last kind of 3 or 4 weeks, I've been here, there and everywhere. And yeah, I'm absolutely knackered. So I'm glad it's kind of sorted out now and it's kind of finished so I can get back to normal. But this is crazy. This is usually the time of the year because the wife goes away and the youngest boy goes away and I'm kind of left myself, and I can have a bit of fun usually, I can start swinging from the light, fitting naked and all that kind of stuff and just kind of have a bit of fun. But not this year. It's absolutely dreadful. It's just all the things that you planned to do just completely went right out of the window. So unfortunately, I've suffered because of it, and you've probably gained because you don't have to suffer my videos. So, while I've lost in the roundabouts, you've definitely gained on the swings. What else has been happening? It seems to be another thing. I was speaking to my sister. It seems to be everybody else is getting pissed. You know what I mean? So I'm working away, not being able to have a drink and things like that, or very rarely. And even if I do, crap options. If you've probably seen some of the posts from some of the hotels I've been at, it's just serious. Not even a real ale, not even an ale as an option, apart from Guinness. Everything else is just lagers. You think, seriously, So yeah, everybody else has been getting pissed, including my sister. I mean, she took great pleasure in telling me last weekend she was absolutely shit-faced, which I don't know why, because every weekend she's probably absolutely shit-faced, going by her reputation. Doesn't take much to get her drunk and that type of stuff, only a couple of bottles of gin, and then that's it, she's shit-faced. But apparently she was really bad last weekend. The point is that she was spewing everywhere, all over the place. And her man, which you probably heard me mention previously, has donated beers. John, apparently he was shit-faced as well. So apparently things got so bad in the bedroom with the spewing and all that, they actually decided to vacate it and bugger off to another room. Just leave that chaos until the morning, that type of thing. And apparently John was so pissed that he basically went and got the fan from the bedroom to take to the other bedroom. And when they woke up the next morning, it was facing the wall. He was that pissed he didn't even actually point it at the bed where they were sleeping. So it looks like everybody's having a bloody great time apart from me. Well, hopefully I'll be having a good time because I've got some Palmer's beers coming up. Now, if you don't know the Palmer's Brewery, it's from Bridport. Now, where is it? Bridport, that's Dorset. Yeah, it's down in Dorset. Well, it's basically very close to the border between East Devon and Dorset, and it's in the Dorset side, and it's just across from the Morrisons, which is a bit of an eyesore. But anyway, we've got some of them beers there. They were kindly donated by Adrian, so they'll be coming up. We've got a few different ones in there, which is quite nice. But today we're going to be on a Cornish brew. So we're going to be doing Anthem Session Pale Ale from the St Austell Brewery. And it's 3.4%. Seems to be there's quite a few kind of ones, because I've got another one coming up, which is Double Diamond, which was originally an IPA, but now it's kind of a pale ale. But the new reincarnation seems to be a little more citrus mentioned in the kind of description. But this one's 3.4%, 440ml a bottle. That's a fucking can. Look, see, that's how much I've been away for so long now that I can't even tell the difference between a fucking can and a bottle. So there you go. It's going to be a good review. Bear with me. It might take a couple of reviews to actually get back to sanity. But apparently it's brewed with 100% British ingredients. There you go. Anthem is a session pale ale brewed with 100% British ingredients. The 4 hops varieties are Target, Olicana, Jester and Harlequin, bringing the beer's mango, peach, apricot, melon and tangerine flavours. All the natural flavours of the UK, because that's what we all think. We all think, if you brew beer using British ingredients, you're going to get a can of fucking lilt. Totally tropical. Wonderful. So apparently colour's golden, just in case you weren't sure, you pour it, you think, what colour's that? They confirm it on the tin, so just in case. Which is a relief actually, because my eyesight's getting so bloody worse that I probably can't tell the colour myself in the mornings, you know what I mean? Aroma. Stone. Fruits. So it means fruits with stones. Citrus. Taste. Mango, peach, melon. Bitter. Apparently gets 4 out of 5. And sweetness, it gets 2 out of 5. I'll just kind of show you this. I'm not bullshitting you. There you go. Because I think half the time people don't trust me, which is probably a good idea because I don't trust me either. Anyway, so it's brewed in the United Kingdom, whether you like it or not. And I can't remember what this cost. I bought this down in England, fully enough. I'm in Scotland now because it's a way of just getting away from it all. So I'm back up here, which is quite nice. It's a wee bit cooler. It was ridiculous. That was another thing, being down in Devon and working away, and weather was not good with the heat and everything else, and just being here and everywhere, and just not being able to kind of sleep properly because of the heat. And Premier Inn have now, as part of the refurbishment, has done away with all the kind of air conditioning units now, so it's just basically a little thermostat in the wall, a little digital thermostat that controls the electric heat at the other end of the room. So there's no cooling at all, but they're now providing these wonderful fans, these nice kind of pedestal fans, which is great because they don't actually blow air. Unless your face is pressed right up against the fucking grill, you know what I mean? Like, I can feel it now, because that's it. I mean, even if it's there and you go like that, you can't feel any air. It just makes a noise, that's all it fucking does. Absolutely shite. Fucking drive me at the wall. So yeah, I've not been sleeping particularly well. I've just been really tired, running about here and everywhere. And I'm going to enjoy doing a few reviews and hopefully doing some nice beers, and hopefully this will be the start of it. Hopefully. It's kind of citrusy and everything else, but I don't mind it in this type of weather because it's warm and I'm wanting something that's kind of cool and refreshing, and I want some kind of interesting flavours and things like that. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want something sweet. I don't want something piney. I don't want something overly citrus. But I don't mind a little bit of that. Type of guy that likes a slice of lemon in his glass of Coke. Anyway. See, I've got a new setup at the back there. You don't notice it. So we've now got a rack for the whiskey bottles and things like that, and we've got the glasses and the 3D printed the kind of draining trays and things like that. So they've been done in 3D printed wood and plastic, things like that. And yeah, and it gives us a wee idea of where the glass is. In other words, the wife's getting sick of me taking up too much of the actual cupboard space in the kitchen with glasses and things like that. So they bought us this for my birthday in May. And it was delayed arriving. So when it did arrive, I built it, and Jesus, what a pain in the arse it was to actually build the bloody thing. You know that saying, measure twice, cut once. There was no measuring at all in that. I would just, fuck it, let's go straight in and start cutting. And yeah, nothing kind of matched up or kind of lined up or anything like that. I'll tell you how bad it is. Even the actual mounting screw holes to mount it to the wall, the screws that actually came with the unit, the holes weren't big enough for the bloody screws. So I still actually had to drill out I didn't use their screws anyway, because Jesus, they looked like kind of Chinesium mixed with spreadable butter, Look at it the wrong way and they'll just melt on you, that type of shit. So yeah, I used my own screws, but I had to drill out the actual holes in the wood to actually be able to take normal screws. I mean, seriously. That's how shit it was. And it was an absolute ball ache to try to get up on the wall. So it was. But anyway, it's up. I'll probably come fucking straight back down in a minute, So keep watching behind me, because this has only been up maybe about an hour and a half. You know, first day off, and there you go, I'm fitting that. Because I was sick of looking at it on the ground, because I built it and I was just sitting in the corner of the room and it was annoying me. I thought, fuck it, I'll get it in the wall. So there you go. Looks a nice lively pint, doesn't it? Mill pond with a bit of scum. There you go. Smell wise, well, you're getting citrus, and yeah, it's kind of fruity. It's like, has a kind of a bit, there's a little bit of malt there, but it's mostly smells of umbongo. You know what I mean? I haven't even got any whiskey down for this. I was going to put this as a Sunday video. Jesus fuck. There's a few there. I've got an English whiskey there as well. Although they call it a British whiskey, because obviously they want to put the Scots nose at a joint, because you know what we're like, because we're such a nice, tolerant race of people, aren't we? Oh, we fuck. But I don't have a problem. I mean, I've got no issues with Scotch making whiskey. I've got no issues with the Irish or whatever, Japanese, Canadian, American. I've got no issues with any of that. They're all quite entitled to have a go and do what works for them. And it's the same with the Welsh. The Welsh are now making it, and of course there's a few English distilleries now doing kind of English whiskies, and I've got no problem with that. They're quite entitled to get wired in there and join in, you know. And that one's actually not too bad, so I might get that down if this turns out to be piss. Oh. Yeah, it is very kind of citrusy, fruity, all that kind of stuff. It smells more like a cocktail than it does a beer. Right, so see what it tastes like. Tell you, I'm a wee bit out of practice. That first drink there, quite salty actually, which sometimes you get with beer, just because your mouth hasn't been acclimatised to beer for a while. Because I've not really had it. What I've had a Coors, I've had a Madry, and I had a beer of Moretti over the last 3 to 4 weeks. That's all I've had. Oh, and I've had a Guinness, and I actually had a Murphy's as well, because I thought, right, I've got a wee kind of slight day off. In other words, I've got a later start the next day, so I thought, well, I'll go and get myself. And I went to the local shop, and there was nothing there apart from a 4-pack of Murphy's, because all that other stuff was just lagers. And I bought it, and I thought, right, I'll have a couple of them. I had one can, and I think I must have got halfway through it, and I just poured it down. I thought, no, I can't suffer this piss. I'm just going to have water. I mean, and that's what it was like. Just water, nice ice cold water with a slice of lemon and lime in it. So I sit down. Oh, 35%. But yes, that just shows you. I'm just intolerant. I'm just getting sick of drinking shit beer, and I just don't really want to do it. The only time I've done a post with a shit lager recently is because I've arrived there late at the hotel. I went into the hotel room. It's absolutely like a fucking sauna. So what I've done is I've just switched on the fucking fan, dumped the bags. I thought, fuck it, I'll go to the bloody bar and get some cold to drink. And then by the time I've finished it, hopefully I'll get back to the room and it's kind of cooled down a wee bit, you know. Fucking unbelievable, so it is. That is citrusy. Not piney though. There's a wee bit of bitterness at the back end, but you're not getting that pineness, which is quite good. Especially for me, because I hate it. Not really saying it's too for sweetness, but I think it's actually a bit more than that. I would say the sweetness is a little bit more. I would say on the sweetness side, it's slightly more than halfway, I would probably say. So instead of saying 2 out of 5, I would probably give it at least a 3 out of 5. I'm not saying it's overly sweet, but there is a kind of sweetness to the malt. There's a kind of sweetness base, and I'm saying malt, it's more likely inverted fucking sugars, but anyway. overall, it's not too bad. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I think the weather plays a big part right now, and because it's very, what the hell's going on here? I mean, it's very warm and kind of sticky and kind of just very humid and close and that type of stuff. It's just, anything that's kind of cool and palatable tends to kind of win. But yes, I would definitely say that this is probably would get a better score because it's this time of year. I think it's a case as though if I was doing this in kind of April or May time, or I'm doing this in kind of, September time, maybe getting closer to October, and it probably wouldn't get so much of a good score. But I just think that, just for this time of year, a beer like this, just, it's better than a lager. And straight away, in this type of weather, you want something cool, kind of refreshing, something like this, golden ales, pale ales, all these kind of stuff. They tend to have more of a what would you say? More of a kind of a better reception, I would probably say. I mean, I would rather have something like this than a lager. If I was basically, as a good example, if I'd basically went into any of these hotel bars after dropping off my bags, and I'm looking there, and what have they got? Right, they've got lagers, they've got Guinness, because that's all they seem to have is lagers and Guinness now. That's the options, and I'm saying that is a lot of the Premier Inns are getting refurbished, the hotels are getting refurbished, the kitchens are getting refurbished, and a lot of the kind of bars and restaurants are getting refurbished. And what I've noticed is, after they get the refurbishment, they're not even doing Doom Bar or these type of things, all you're getting is 4 or 5 lagers, a couple of ciders, and a Guinness, and that's it. That's your option, that's your lot. So if I'd went into any of these places and they had like this on tap, not even in cask and that, but just on tap, then I'd probably go for something like this before I'd go for any of the lagers, and then you'd have seen pictures of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would probably have drunk cider, but probably cider gives me really bad indigestion, and I've got enough bloody problems sleeping at night in this weather without having to deal with indigestion, so that's why I wouldn't touch the cider. Plus, most of the ciders nowadays, especially if they're on tap, let's be totally honest, they're made from bloody concentrated bloody apple juice, and it's just synthetic piss. But yeah, maybe a bit of a dry at the back end, but I think it's because there's a bit of citric acid going on there, and I'm not saying it's a natural citrus acid, it just feels there's a little bit of citrus acid maybe added to it. I'm just trying to look, is it water, malted barley, malted oats, hops, yeast, and that's it. But some seems to be just a bit, has a little bit of kind of citrus to it, but as in citrus as in the acid rather than the actual flavour. And it does feel it's more a kind of citric acid kind of edge to it, which I don't think is particularly natural. Mango flavours, we'll say it's supposed to be tasting of mango, peach and melon. Maybe get away with a bit of mango just because that sweetness, you could maybe say that, you maybe attach a little bit of that kind of sweetness to one of the fruit flavours and kind of pass it off as mango. Peach, I wouldn't say there's melon. Maybe you get away with peach, maybe, but I wouldn't say there's melon. And there's also that kind of slightly citrus edge to it as well, and I'm saying you're getting that citric acid. Malt wise, front of the mouth, it's quite light. It's quite light on the malt, but it's a pale ale, we expect it to a certain degree. But yeah, it's in the lighter body. It's supposed to be sessionable. It's classed as a session pale ale, and it is on the lighter side. The malt's on the lighter side. There isn't a huge amount of body there, yeah, it's okay. And the fruit flavours you're getting, I'm not going to say they taste particularly natural. They taste a bit synthetic, but overall it's okay. It's nice enough, and at this kind of weather, it's okay, it's fine. I would rather take that over a lager, I'll be totally honest. But what would I give this? Out of 10? Here's a question. What would I give it out of 10? It's okay. I just feel that it's not really a pale ale in my eyes. It's a kind of concoction, let's be totally honest. It's okay, but at the end of the day, I like a more traditional pale ale if I'm going down that route. I've got nothing wrong with a session pale ale, on that basis. And it is lighter and easier to drink. There's not really much resistance. But I just feel that if they made it more with natural ingredients, I think they'd have a better product. I just feel that it doesn't feel 100% natural. It just doesn't give me them kind of vibes. It just feels slightly synthetic in some ways, and I don't know, but that's why I was getting that kind of saltiness at the start there. It was the mouth getting reacted because it feels like they've added a little bit of kind of citric acid, to it, just to kind of maybe balance out the flavours or help to connect the flavours, but something's been added there and it doesn't feel as if it's natural. So on that basis, I'm going to give it a 4. I was thinking about a 4.5, and I thought, well, it's a 440ml can, so you can piss off with that. But apparently it's a case as though people have saying that, I shouldn't be so hard on the 440ml cans because that's what they used to be. Yeah, well, I suppose, yes, in the past, a lot of them kind of were 440ml at that point and things like that. Although, when the first beer cans came out, they were actually a Welsh brewery that did it. And no, it wasn't 440ml then. It was something like 360ml or something like that. But I'm going on the basis is that the majority of them have moved over. A lot of breweries and everything else with their bottles and with their cans have moved over to the 500ml. And I just think that the way things are now, it's now the kind of industry standard. It doesn't matter what it was like in the past. At the end of the day, it's now. I mean, what's in the past is gone, unfortunately. Like a lot of good beers and a lot of good breweries and things like that, they're gone. So at the end of the day, if you want to hark back to the past over the 440ml cans, then bring back the good fucking beers. Bring back more of the traditional fucking beers and everything else and stop all this other fucking nonsense. But we're not there and we can't go back. So at the end of the day, shove your 440ml fucking cans up your arse. At the end of the day, they should be 500. Simple as that, If you have to serve a fucking piss beer, you might as well give us 500 fucking mils of it, you know what I mean? That's my view. Even if you don't drink it, it adds a little bit of a heavier fucking weight when you're fucking chucking it at some bastard, so there you go, so you've got that benefit. Anyway, it's 4 out of 10. It's 3.8%. It's from St Austell. And I agree, but this beer just tends to kind of epitomise St Austell because it's a shithole. And it's not a particularly nice place. St Austell. It's just dreadful. It's kind of died in its arse, really. It's just a horrible place to go into and visit now. It must be really disappointing for a lot of tourists that go there thinking, Jesus, what the fuck's happened here? It's that kind of where Benefit Streets meets rundown town. And together they've made the place absolutely shite. So there you go. But this beer just kind of epitomises it. It's a nice enough beer. I mean, compared to lager, it's nice enough. But as a pale ale, it's a bit of a disappointment. And it's, like I say, it's a bit kind of synthetic. It doesn't feel 100% natural. So 3.8%, 440ml can. 4 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye for now.